The following podcast has been rated Listener MA. It contains strong language, violence, adult situations, nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Sportscast. I am your host. My name is Scotty Gurman, and alongside me, as usual, I have two very excellent stand-up comedians here in the Wichita area. First, to my left, I have the 1984 Kingman County T-Ball Defensive Player of the Year Award winner, Mr. Jeremy Joseph.
Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Feels like we've done this before.
Yeah, we may have. But also to my left, very, very great comic, also here in the Wichita area.
Slightly better than Jeremy.
All right.
Slightly
with shittier clothes, and we like to call him the wreck, Mr. Derek Alders.
This is the only clean clothes I had at your mom's house, so I had to throw something on.
That's terrible.
Oh, fuck. Point and counterpoint.
Shots fired.
That's
Kobe!
fucking awful.
Colby.
Yeah, anyway. Well, guys, we have
Never
an
gets
excellent...
old.
Oh, no, it kind of does.
Really? That's not what the listeners think, Scotty.
All right, whatever.
It's all about them.
That is true. Okay, so, guys, we have a really excellent show we got to go over today. I know Derek's running on fumes.
Yeah.
But we're going to go over a little bit what's going on in baseball. We're going to go over Derek's nice journey to Arlington. Talk about a no-hitter where a player was pulled out in the middle of one and may have been a little bit premature. Give a shout-out to an MMA fighter that is a good friend of ours. And then also the AAF is going down, apparently. So we got a pretty good show. And then also we're going to conclude with our picks, right, for March Madness.
Oh, is that still going on?
Yeah, that's still going on.
I'll be goddamn.
But it's April.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the madness is over.
That's
now.
what's
Now it gets down to
maddening
the
about it.
nitty-gritty.
Yeah, it's April craziness.
Exactly. We get to our Final Four picks, and we also get to see who's wearing the shot collar.
April craziness. Sunday,
that's
Sunday,
right.
Sunday.
Right.
There's no games.
Right.
But they are Saturday and Monday, so
Right.
tune in.
Why wouldn't you have the most important game on a day when nobody can really drink because they got to go in the next day?
Yeah.
Monday. Who doesn't love a fucking Monday for a championship game?
I know. I'm ready for Super Bowl Tuesday myself.
Absolutely.
God.
A lot of tacos.
All right.
tacos.
So we know, not everybody knows, but we know that Derek is right now running on fumes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
You had a good trip to Arlington, did you?
I had an okay trip.
Yeah. What time? Okay. When did this all start? Because I know I think I visited you before, maybe the day before, whenever you were getting ready to go to work or something like that.
Well, basically, I work evenings, so Saturday night / Sunday morning, I got off work about 2:30 in the morning, went and picked up one of my buddies, and went home, showered, changed, and drove to Arlington, Texas, which is about a 5.5 hour drive.
Yep.
We got to our hotel. They wouldn't let us check into the hotel.
Nice.
So, because it was way too early, so we decided we got to do something. I'm on about maybe an hour of sleep in 20-minute intervals. Crazy because I was driving. But so we decided to go down to the Kennedy assassination thing down in Dealey Plaza. Which, yeah, that was kind of interesting.
How was it?
It was okay. Like it was really packed and kind of disorganized.
Yeah.
Really, but
The sixth floor museum, right?
yes,
That's what they call it.
that's where we went.
Yeah, and were you as surprised as I was to see how short of a shot that actually is?
Yeah, that is pretty short.
Yeah,
actually.
everybody goes on about what a great marksman that would have taken, how that would have just been impossible. It's a pretty easy shot. He had a scope, and I don't think you'd have needed one.
The way it looked,
JFK needed a roof, though.
He sure did.
they
Turned
showed
his head
the
into a
gun.
convertible.
The gun looked like shit. It looked like a musket with a scope on it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a Italian Carcano, I believe, and considered one of the worst quality battlefield rifles in history.
it doesn't surprise me.
I believe the mail order catalog that he showed, he had it sent to us out. It was what, $35.
Oh God, I have no idea. Why are you looking at me?
Was, I mean, there's a very famous photo of him holding the rifle and the magazine ad, the catalog ad that he got it from, and I believe it was $35
Jesus.
for a surplus Carcano rifle.
jeez.
But anyway, so you got that. Now, you also did get to. Oh, you went to a barbecue place, didn't you?
Yeah, my buddy owns a barbecue restaurant out here in town. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And so we went to. He likes to try barbecue anywhere time we go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so we went to the Pecan Lodge in Dallas, which was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Shout out to those guys
Yeah.
because that was probably some of the best barbecue I've ever eaten. It was the best brisket I've ever had.
Wow.
And so we left there and then went to the hotel to check in, literally, and drop our shit off, and then went straight to the game, then went to dinner, and then went back to sleep, and then drove after about 6 or 7 hours of sleep, drove straight back to Wichita, and then I worked immediately when I got here. I worked until about 3 in the morning last night.
Yep.
So.
I saw you.
We one time, my wife and I were in Kansas City at the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yeah.
And I ordered their pulled pork sandwich.
Oh.
I ordered a barbecue sandwich in Kansas City from the Cheesecake Factory.
You know how to do it, Jeremy.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Why wouldn't you go to a fucking chain restaurant that they're probably just nuking that shit? It's been frozen when you're in the home of some of the best barbecue in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
I
That
had
was-
a-
and
I
by the way,
actually-
shit sandwich.
I had DiGiorno in Chicago one time, so I know what you're
Are you
talking
sure that
about.
wasn't delivery?
It might have been.
I always get them confused. Every
too.
time. Every fucking
Me too.
time.
But how was the game? That's all what we're really, really worried about.
Yeah, how'd
This
that
is a
go?
sports show.
Well, basically,
Surely you had a good stadium experience.
the stadium itself was nice. I'd never been to that stadium. Okay. I was surprised because it's built in '94, and this is the last year for the Rangers at Globe Life Park. They're building a brand new stadium. But I thought they were tearing down Globe Life.
Okay.
And I made the comment to our Uber drivers, like, I can't believe they're tearing down the stadium. And he said that they're actually not. It's going to be the future home of the Dallas XFL team, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah. That's the team that Bob Stoops going to coach, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I'll be damned.
So they don't have a name for it yet, but I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
The game itself, I had these dipshits in front of me that just kept fucking standing. I missed probably half the game. They just stood to stand. He had like a block of 14 seats. He had like 7 and then 7 in the row in front.
Oh, way to split it up and make it even. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So basically, they decided that every half inning they'd stand and then stop standing after the first batter was done hitting. His kids literally had to get up to get a 2-pound fucking chicken finger. Shit you
Jesus
not,
Christ.
a 2-pound chicken finger.
I heard about it on somebody was talking about that on the radio. It's got a name. What do they call it?
Fuck, I don't know.
I mean, they
I
came
didn't
up
name
with a
it.
clever name. Oh, you didn't name it. Oh,
I didn't name it. No.
God damn! I could have swore they said Derek Calder's name. No, but I figured maybe you saw it at a concession stand or something.
We saw it. We saw what, I don't remember what the name was. They also had a 2-foot bratwurst.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and a fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I tried to get that, but they were out of it.
Oh, man.
So the kid like literally gets up and gets this giant 2-foot chicken finger and then sits down and has to get up and get ice cream and then sits down and has to get up and take a piss and then has to sit down and then has to get up and go get more ice cream and then has to sit down. Then has to get up and get a drink and then has to sit down. Then has to get up and I would hope take a shit after shoving all this in his goddamn body. And then the mother is making like these 5 kids. I'm sure 2 of them are hers, 2 of them are his, and one of them is just fucking just showed up. I don't know. And they're taking pictures like during the game, like, oh no, hold the chicken finger up. No, hang on. I'm like, hey, what the fuck happened at first base, cunt? I can't see what's going on. So yeah, drop the C-bomb. You're welcome, kids.
Yeah.
So we finally move like 2 rows in front, and I really just want to stand the whole day and the rest of the game. And we're in the 7th inning, and we move, and now his fucking demon children are screaming shrills in the back of our fucking ears. So we move over. Our third move was the ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, so we move over and watch the rest of the game, and we lost on a fucking walk-off wild pitch.
That's excellent.
Sounds like a nice time.
Yeah, it does sound like
It
a
was
nice.
a wonderful time.
That's
It was
excellent.
50 degrees. It was cold, windy. Thank God we were in the shade.
I'm just glad the Cubs lost.
I bet you are.
I was just grinning from ear to ear.
You're adopted. So
Is that true, Scotty?
Maybe. It's possible.
What does that make me?
You really think somebody would pick Scotty?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Come on.
So, and I foreshadowed a little bit here. They had I don't know if it was a guy in a Velociraptor costume.
Yeah.
Or if it was a robot, but they had that throw out the first pitch. It went like 5 feet and then just right on the ground. And I looked at my buddy and I go, man, we sure could use him in the pen tonight.
Yeah.
Turns
absolutely.
out I was fucking right.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. They walked a lot.
Are you sure it was not a real Velociraptor? Because they can train those now.
I've heard that.
I saw this documentary with Chris Pratt where they can train Velociraptors now to do basically anything you want. You just need a clicker, and they'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
That's
a hit,
pretty awesome.
Yeah, get a hit off him. He'll just come up and just eat you.
Sure.
Round in second. Fuck you, bitch. I can't even make
They
the
are
noise.
fast.
Here's
They
a
are fast.
here's
According to this documentary, they're fast.
Yeah.
Here's a fun dinosaur fact, actually. The mascot of the Colorado Rockies is actually a triceratops. You know why it's a triceratops?
No.
When they were building Coors Field, they were digging where their home plate is now, and they found a triceratops skull.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
That is actually, and you guys know me, not a big fan of dinosaur facts.
No.
you know that about me. That's
Yeah.
I've been very firm on that since day one. But that is actually cool.
Yeah, that is actually pretty neat.
So-
I had no idea about that. Well, kudos for the Rockies. That's a good idea. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Would you have rather been at a Rockies game?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'd have rather been at a lot of different games and watched that shit show.
Yeah.
All it was just
Yeah, but those
walk.
kids wouldn't have been there. Those
Yeah.
darling kids and their
You know what I'm
cunt
thankful
mother.
I'm thankful for though is that all the adults in that party were drinking. So hopefully they just fucking hit a bus. That's what I hope.
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm just serious.
Why do you
Relax.
hate buses so much?
I love buses. Maximum
really,
carnage, man.
I kind of figured you for a bus
And
guy.
really, trains don't go through the highway, so you got to go with a bus.
True.
Yeah.
Or a chicken truck.
Yeah. Or
Probably those fucking 2-foot chicken.
Yeah.
Ones with 2 foot.
I hope he just
2
runs.
pound fingers.
I hope he runs into that fucking chicken.
Oh,
That
fuck yeah.
motherfucker's got a tube. Yeah.
2-foot finger chicken.
The,
Yeah.
the one that he's missing a finger.
Yeah, it must be Fredbird the Redbird or some shit. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
fucked up.
That's what that chicken finger was.
No, that's not true.
So yeah, it was a nice big walk carousel. You know, and it's frustrating because the pen has been bad, and they did
Yeah.
nothing to get better.
Talking the bullpen.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And they did nothing to get better.
Yeah.
At all. They just stayed pat. They got rid of La Stella, which was probably the best pitch hitter in baseball, and they get Descalso, which I don't really know much about, but I know he's not Tommy La Stella. And it's bad when
Different name and everything.
Our only fucking move is somebody you've never heard of, and every team in your division has gotten better.
Yeah.
The Reds got better with
Yeah.
Puig, and the Brewers got better.
Say it.
And
Say it.
Cubs front office, go fuck yourself. All right, I know it's a little early in the episode for a go fuck yourself, but hey, who gives a shit, right? 2017, 2016, 2018, all been different years for the Cubs because they were all ended in different numbers. 2016, they win the World Series, right? They win that in spite of Joe Madden, in my opinion. Okay, because in Game 6, you put in Chapman to start with. When you're up 4 or 5 runs, it's a non-save situation. You put him in the 8th inning. I think he got 5 outs that game. You don't need him there. Cleveland had seen him all series. You don't need him in that game, and what happens? He gets fucking shelled. That's what happens when a closer comes in a non-save situation. He comes in Game 7. You start Hendricks. You pull Hendricks too early. Then you put in Lester, who probably shouldn't have been pulled either. He was pitching well. And then you put in Chapman for the 6-out save, and what happens? Fucking dinger by a leadoff hitter, Rajai Davis. It's ridiculous. You won that. They won that series in spite of Joe Madden. He can't manage a fucking bullpen to save his life. So 2017, there's a World Series hangover. That's what they attribute it to, right? That's why the slow start. That's great, but you know what? You suck it up and go to work. That's what I do after binging a night of fucking Jägermeister and whores. 2017 bullpen ERA 3.8. That was the bullpen ERA. So what do they do in 2018? They're like, you know what? Let's make a couple of signings. How about we sign a guy whose fucking road ERA is decent, but his home ERA is terrible, and he walks 1,000 fucking people, and Tyler Chatwood. But, you know, let's make a big splash. Let's sign a guy who spends more time on the disabled list than the fucking Special Olympians. Let's get you Darvish, right? So that's what they decide to go fucking do. Darvish, surprise, gets fucking hurt, and Shitwood, as I like to call him, ends up deciding to walk fucking half a Major League Baseball in 8 starts. I don't know how that's feasible because there's more than 16 teams. So they decide this year to do nothing, right? They exercise the 1-year option on Cole Hamels for $20 million. That's awesome if he was 10 years fucking younger. They get rid of Tommy La Stella, the best pinch hitter in baseball. A lot of you are probably going, who the fuck is Tommy La Stella? A little more known than who the fuck is Daniel Descalso, which is the guy they decided to sign and to replace him, right? You're starting Mark Zagunis in the outfield. You're benching Kyle Schwarber, who is a little bit of a mediocre left fielder, but if you watched the Braves game yesterday, missed a fucking can of corn. 6 errors yesterday. The Cubs pen is fucking goddamn atrocious. The front office has done nothing to address it. And for that I say, Chicago Cubs, go fuck yourself. That was Go Fuck Yourself, brought to you by New Balance, the official walking shoe of the Chicago Cubs. And Nike Shocks. All walks eventually lead to a run. Make sure and run home in Nike Shocks. Go Fuck Yourself, not really brought to you by New Balance and Nike Shocks.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I knew you would like that.
I did. I did. That brought something to my heart. But you still didn't say the Cardinals did a lot in the offseason to become better.
Everybody got better in the offseason in that division.
But I want you to say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Please?
No.
God damn it. Okay.
No.
And see, that really is, I mean, I know that feeling so well, to be so fucking frustrated, to still love the team with all you've got.
Yeah.
But to hate everything that they're doing. This investing so much money in starting pitching, when it's being, nobody pitches their starters past the 6th inning anymore.
Right.
You are so much better benefited by putting some money into a bullpen.
Lester Hamels and fucking Darvish
and Hendricks.
And Darvish, and really Hendricks, kind of for that matter, usually are at 100 pitches by the 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
And so it's time to go, and they've got nobody in 7, 8, and 9.
Right.
I'll be shocked if Morrow pitches 80 fucking games this year.
Wow.
And Strop, and a lot of people hate on Strop. I like Strop. That's about the only reliever I like because he's been the most consistent reliever. His ERA's been under 3. He was the one that made that wild pitch, but I don't put that on him. I put that on, and Cishek was the only one that looked decent that game. Mm-hmm. But I put that on Hamels for walking 3 in a row, and Madden doesn't come out and get him.
Yeah.
You walk the fucking bases loaded, and you wait for that.
Yeah.
You don't wait to do that when you're doing that on 4 pitches.
Yeah.
And not even a mound visit.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's
Just-
my point. I think after you put somebody in scoring position, that's whenever at least mound visit.
Calm down.
Yeah, you get another guy over to third. Now you got the bags packed, and you still don't come and pull them.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And that just always surprised me so much when, that is their job.
Yeah.
Is to throw strikes. Mm-hmm. And, I've always said, if you're looking for somebody to just come out and walk people, I will do it for half of what you're paying these guys.
Yeah. Again, undercut. I will do it for a quarter.
Damn it. God damn, you are shrewd.
I know.
Shrewd
I want a job,
negotiator.
damn it.
But so I'm sure Madden just put them all in like fucking pajamas or disco suits, and we're like, all right, let's go on the plane. On to the next. We'll get to Atlanta where we get shut out fucking 8-0 and commit 6 errors. And I'm stupid because I'm like, here's what I think is going on. I think they got that World Series in 16.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't have to invest in the fucking team anymore. We gave the fans a World Series. Fuck, they're going to be buying 2016 World Series shirts in 2054. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you see all these guys now, too. You look at Ronald Acuna just got an extension. Arenado, DeGrom, Sale, all these guys are now, they're not hitting free agency. And I think they're going to fuck themselves out of retaining Bryant or Baez.
Yeah.
And really Rizzo for that matter. Rizzo said he wants to be a Cub forever.
Right.
And I think really Rizzo should. I think he's earned that.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're getting all these guys that are signed. You're going to let these guys test free agency. Bryant was already jaded with the service time deal that happened when they didn't call him up, when he didn't make the big league roster right out of the gate.
Right.
So I think they're basically the word I would use to describe that. I think they're going to Maddox themselves out of Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
Like they did with Maddox.
Sure.
They didn't want to. They weren't going to pony up and pay him, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, and take Goldschmidt, like we were talking about last episode, last week. We were talking about
extended.
He got extended, and he was only a part of a team for a couple of weeks.
He wasn't even. I don't even think opening day had started yet.
No,
and he
it
was
hadn't.
extended.
No,
Yeah.
he was extended before opening day.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, he comes out and hits 2 dingers and 3 dingers in a game. Actually, he was the first one to have a multi home run game. Well, more than 2, because Colton Wong did it too, but he hit 3 dingers in the game.
The White Sox, and this is why I hate Quintana for the Cubs. I can't stand him because they traded for him like he was an ace, and he's a 5.
Yeah.
And they traded Eloy Jimenez for him, which was one of the best. He was one of the best prospects in all of baseball. Mm-hmm. I'm not bitter at the Cubs trading Gleyber Torres for Chapman. Mm-hmm. I mean that you had to do something. They needed a closer.
Yeah,
they did get a World Series out of it. Mm-hmm. In spite of Chapman Game 7, but I don't blame that, like I said, as much on Chapman as I do on Madden.
On Madden, right?
So you got to make moves like that. But
Right.
Jimenez that was worth way more than Quintana. And the White Sox, Jimenez hadn't even started a game yet.
Right.
He was in the minors last year, and they extended him to a 6-year deal,
Right.
which could end up being a steal. Because I think that guy's going to be a fucking stud, and I'm going to get pissed every time I watch him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hope like Quintana's family gets kidnapped or something.
Right. And like we talked about last episode, are you going to change your positioning of how the NL Central is going to look?
Well, I on the show I did it the way that I wanted, because I just want to jab your fucking nutsack with a poker. But
come on,
At
buddy.
least he specified what he wanted to do it with.
correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
One of those
That's
red,
what we were all,
a red hot fire poker.
what do you want to poke him in the nutsack with? That's what I was sitting here thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
We knew he wanted to poke him in the nutsack.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what with.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of pleased. Cardinals went to Milwaukee to start off the season. Michaelis got freaking shelled.
Yeah, it was the mustache.
Well, he shaved it.
Oh, maybe he needs the mustache.
Maybe he needs the mustache. The
probably
mustache
threw his-
power.
I bet it threw his balance off.
Actually, I
Yeah.
take that back. I can't remember if he shaved it completely off or not. I can't remember,
Maybe
but
he
it doesn't
did the
matter.
Chaplin.
What,
He had
he
the
shaved
Chaplin.
half of it? What?
I don't know. But he got shelled. Then we go out. We actually did get a win. But I give kudos to Lorenzo Cain because it
love
was
Cain.
well it was
that
top
catch?
top of
Yeah.
9, and Martinez comes up and hits a potential bomb to right center field. Lorenzo Cain climbs the wall and gets the last out because that would have tied the game. That would have put him in extras. And
He did the same
I
thing in
don't-
Kansas City.
I know.
I don't
but
think the ball was going out, but it would have hit off the wall and would have.
the top of the wall.
I think it would have been the top of the wall. I think it was just enough to go out because I watched that replay tons and tons of times. I think it would have been just over. Maybe hit the top of the wall.
I think you're wrong, Scotty.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm giving Lorenzo Cain a little bit more credit for robbing a home run. You're just
He
saying
still made a great catch either way, whether it was going out or not. It
Correct.
was still a good catch.
correct. All right.
It was neither because he caught it.
But 4 games in, I'm not hitting the panic button because
Yet.
I think I hit the panic button in the off season.
Yeah.
And I've said this not on this show, but multiple friends and at the bar I work at, we discuss sports a lot.
Right.
And I honestly think the Cubs are going to finish 4th in that division. I know Fangraphs, I think is what it was, predicted them to finish last. I think we'll finish above the Pirates, but I think that division in the NL Central is going to go Milwaukee, St. Louis. I think Cincinnati finishes ahead of us. Then I think the Cubs. Then I think the Pirates. That's what I think is going to happen.
I wouldn't call that yet. I'm being honest.
There's a lot that could happen.
Cincinnati is certainly on the rise.
I love you, but I fucking hate the Cubs because of what you do to me all the time, every single season. And so I'm still gonna be honest.
What does he do? Does he fuck you? Or?
No.
Oh.
He likes sending me text messages and shit whenever I'm in a bad mood already.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but
I'm a good friend.
Exactly. If they're not picking on you, they don't love you, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but I'll be honest. I think you're selling yourself short. I think it's going to be either Milwaukee, St. Louis at top. I will probably lean more Milwaukee. They look really fucking good. They look extremely
Milwaukee.
They won the division last year, didn't they? In that one game playeff?
Yes.
Yes.
And then the Cubs immediately lost at home, and they scored 0 runs both games.
Yeah, and I think Yelich. I think that's his
Yelich,
name.
MVP?
He's a fucking stud. He hit 4 home runs in 4 games.
Yeah, that guy's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's badass.
Test him for steroids. I'm just saying. Just saying.
That's
not the guy.
162 home runs a year.
Yeah,
That's a good average.
That's the pace.
That's
Yeah,
right,
that's the
yeah.
pace.
That's gonna break some records, guys. I'm not lying. 162 home runs might break some records.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it when they do that. Like the first game of the season,
I
somebody
know,
hits
it's
2
like-
home runs. Like, oh, he's on pace to hit 324 home runs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just showing you can do math. That's all you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
your
like
face.
Thames, and he's not starting off hot, but I think if I remember correctly, he's even at the bottom of the lineup. But
And you got Moustakas playing second.
that's crazy.
That's
to
going to
me.
be a disaster, I think.
I think
in
so
the
too.
field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like he's trimmed down. He looks like he's lost some weight.
He was a shitty third baseman.
I understand, but they've
Yeah.
shortened the throw because he's throwing from second
Yeah.
base. So they've shortened the throw for him. Maybe he can
Which
use that.
is not what you need to do because he had a fucking cannon for an arm.
That's fine, but he couldn't make it there. He two-hopped Hosmer on a regular basis in Kansas City.
yeah.
Right, because he was throwing
they were bad
so hard.
hops.
But I mean, he was a high school quarterback.
I get it.
I think he was throwing extra hard because he knew Hosmer was there.
Okay.
So I don't think he needed to shorten the throw. He needed to work on his accuracy maybe. But not having the arm to get it there, no, he had plenty of arm.
okay.
But No,
He
they
has
said
2 arms.
Oh, is
Right.
that
He has
true?
2,
Is
yeah.
that true?
Yeah. You know who doesn't have 2 arms? Scotty. No arms. No
Yeah,
arms.
that's 0.
digital.
That's 2.
That shit's digital.
2 less than Mike Moustakas. But no, I know when he played for Kansas City that they said during practices and pregame and stuff that he would always come over and field some grounders at shortstop. Even.
Yeah.
So he can play middle infielder.
I know. Shortstop, I never put him there. I don't think he covered enough ground. Second base, you covered
in
less
an
ground.
emergency though, you can put him there.
I think he's going to grade out as one of the towards the bottom half of the second baseman defensively. I really do. I think Moustakas grades out towards the bottom.
Maybe. But
Time will tell, Derek.
okay, so let's move on. We've already talked about the Cubs enough and the Brewers enough. Let's get on to Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper tonight, which is actually already going on, but that's okay. He's back in D.C. for the first time since leaving. He's going up against Scherzer, too.
Oh, nice.
So what do you think happens? What do you guys think? Do you think he gets booed? Do you think he gets 50-50, cheered and booed? Or do you think he gets a standing ovation?
I think Max Scherzer stares him down with 2 different colored eyes.
That's a fact, actually. He probably will.
Oh, I bet he doesn't even look at him, actually. I'm going to say that Max Scherzer pitches the entire game without looking at home plate. He's that good. It's just muscle memory, guys.
For those of you guys who don't know, Scherzer actually looks like a husky. He's got 2 different colors eyes. He's got a brown one and a blue one. Yeah. So
He's a partial albino.
I have 2 blue ones and a brown one. The brown one's my asshole.
Oh, is that true? Nice.
that's terrible.
And it's blind. He is third eye blind.
It is blind.
That's crazy. But anyways, what do you think?
He
does-
should
it
get a
does
standing
sneeze.
ovation.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I know a lot of people, they bitch about, where's the loyalty this day? Fuck you. Most of you have never had a chance to turn down this kind of money, let alone, accept the fucking contract that he was offered. When he was with Washington, he gave it their all. There's nothing to, he won an NL MVP with him. What the fuck else do you want from the guy? While he was under contract, he did the best he could for you.
Yeah.
So, he went where a lot of money was. They could not offer him the money that he was wanting. He did nothing to disgrace Washington. He did nothing to piss him off. It was strictly a business move, so you got no business.
So you would cheer him?
I would cheer him.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to do would you cheer or would you boo? That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Go, Derek. What would you do?
First off, I think the reception he's going to get is 50-50.
Okay.
I would probably boo him
Okay.
because I'm fucking petty. And B, he went to a team in the division.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I wouldn't imagine, I don't know if there's a really big rivalry between Philly and DC, but it's a division.
If there isn't, there probably will be soon.
Yeah, it's the division. Like if Chris Bryant leaves and goes to the Cardinals, I'm probably burning his house down.
And I'm welcoming him with open arms.
I will left eye Andre Rison in his ass. Like I will do that. If he leaves and goes to the Brewers, I might set his car on fire, but I'm still gonna do something. So I think going into the division is the wrong, not the wrong move. I mean, he went after the money. Everybody knew he was going after the money.
Right. But if he would have gone to L.A., would you be a little bit lighter on him?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
As bad as that sounds,
That's
because I don't
fair.
like the Dodgers. But I just think going into the division, unless that team spurned your ass, which they really didn't.
No.
They offered him a 10-year, $300 million deal, and
Right.
he just
Sorry. Yeah. And see, with me, I think I'm with you. I think I would also boo him. Even though today he sent out I can't remember if it was a tweet or something like that, but he basically sent out saying, I know I'm going to get a little bit of boos, I'm going to get a lot of cheers and stuff like that, but Washington D.C., you're my first home. This is just a new chapter in my life. Blah 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 blah. Fuck off. I don't buy it.
Yeah, perfect example, Jeremy. If Cain went to the White Sox, instead of the Brewers, would you have a different reception or a different reaction in that sense?
No.
I actually am with him on this one.
For the point that while Lorenzo Cain wore a Royals uniform, he fucking killed himself for the team.
Yeah.
He laid it all
did.
on the line.
He did.
And so, I would be I'm more pissed off at the Royals. Pony up the fucking money.
Yeah, I'm the same way too.
I would be pissed off if there's somebody who I want to be on my team and you won't pay him what they're worth. That's on the team. Washington probably would have gotten a little bit of a hometown discount for him already being there.
No.
No,
You don't think?
No, I
he-
think he wanted out.
Well,
He wanted money.
He wanted money, but he didn't want it from DC. I guarantee you, he wanted to go someplace else. And here's the other thing about your example with Lorenzo Cain. Lorenzo Cain off the field is like one of the nicest people in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Bryce Harper walks around like he's an asshole.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
I've talked to a guy in Vegas that went to school with him, and he said he was a fucking dick.
now, see, I don't know anything about him personally. Yeah, if he's a dick, if he's done something to disgrace your city or shit on your city, whatever,
Yeah.
then yeah.
How about starting fights in your own dugout with your own players that represent Washington D.C. just as much as you do?
No.
Papelbon. You know about Papelbon?
Yeah.
In that particular instance, absolutely not.
I don't know.
Papelbon came in, got overpaid, and underperformed all year in
Sure.
the same year while he's winning the NL MVP,
Sure.
and you're gonna fucking jump his ass about not working hard enough.
I don't know.
That's what that fight was about, because
Okay.
he didn't run out a pop fly real hard, and so Papelbon told him, hey man, you need to be running that shit out, and it's like they've been eliminated at that point, and he's right. But it doesn't need to be coming from that guy. When you fucking worry about your own game,
Maybe it
when
wouldn't
you've
come
been
from anybody else.
Well, except the only reason that they were even close to being in position was because of Bryce Harper, and the reason that they were out of contention was because of Papelbon blowing saves. So when you've been more hurting the team than helping, and the only real bright spot on your team, you're gonna bitch at that guy for not trying hard enough. Fuck you.
Okay, fine, whatever.
What Philly needed, I think, that year was Randy McCammond.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Randy McCammond.
Yes.
The man.
The official
myth.
mascot of the Unfiltered
Yes.
Sportscast.
Okay.
What are we called? Unfiltered Sportscast, yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Damn.
No.
Hey,
You're just gonna throw it out there.
I can't.
Derek,
I don't do.
Derek can't put a card where it's supposed to go.
Well, it's because I got a shitty holder.
Lean it back, buddy.
Listeners, send me a new holder.
Okay. That's fine. Whatever. I don't know. I think I'm with Derek on this. I'd probably boo his ass and burn his jersey and find his car.
I wouldn't burn his jersey. I've only burned one jersey in my life.
Cutler.
Cutler.
Yeah.
And not because I was mad that got released. That was more of a celebration burn.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like kindling to start a fire for a party with all your friends kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So,
Okay, on to the next one. David Hess. He is a pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles. Just the other night, I think it was on Friday.
It was last night.
Was it
last night.
Oh, it was last night. Oh, that's right. Okay, you're right. It was on Monday night. He pitched a no-hitter through 6 1/3. He was at 82 pitches, and skipper Brandon Hyde came out and pulled him.
he was through 6, I believe.
6 1/3.
6 1/3. He was
6
in the
1/3.
seventh.
6 1/3. He got the first out of the 7th inning,
And then they pulled him.
and they pulled him. Nobody on base.
He had walked one guy.
He
in the
walked
sixth.
in the 6th. He
Yeah.
walked one guy in the 6th. So
Yeah.
the perfect game was gone, but he still had the no-hitter going,
And they were up by 6 runs.
and they were up by 6 runs, right?
And they damn near lost the game.
And they damn near lost the game. I think it was 6-5 if I remember correctly. was the
Because
final.
I'm sure that the entire bullpen was sitting there watching the performance going, ain't no way we're going in.
we're not going in. Not until the 8th or the 9th inning, or if he started to throwing and getting shelled, okay, then but you're taking a guy that's cold in a different mindset, that's
Yes.
out of the bullpen, that's expecting not to see a whole lot of action, and then you're making the call down there. Yeah, go ahead and get warmed up.
He's sitting there going, what the fuck am I doing in here? And we've got a team no-no going
Yeah,
Yeah.
that that's a lot of extra pressure to put on a cold guy.
sure.
When your starter should have that.
Yeah,
I'm going to say that should have probably been his game win, lose, or draw, given the
agree.
performance. But, you want to make sure you get him the win if it starts to fade. But the number of starting pitchers, who will ever sniff the 7th inning with a no-hitter going are slim to none.
Yep.
And I realize it's early in the season. You want to save his arm, you don't want to tax his pitch count, but 82 pitches, it should be at least 100 pitch count before you even think about pitching or pulling that guy. And you pull him after 82 in a move that just seems so fucking off the wall. I can't even comprehend it.
Yeah.
If I was the general manager of that team, I would seriously consider letting that manager go.
Oh yeah, I would seriously have a very strong talking to. I mean, I know it's a
It doesn't
third
even
game.
make it. I realize there's a sentimental
Yeah.
thing with the no hitter, but that doesn't even make good baseball sense.
No, it doesn't.
Who's the manager of the Royals again?
The Royals.
Or Orioles, I mean. Orioles.
His name is Brandon Hyde.
Brandon, can I change my go fuck yourself?
No shit,
Yeah,
right?
What an asshole.
That's a dick move, man.
And it was on April Fool's Day too.
Yeah.
the best part.
Yeah, it's like, you're gonna finish the game. I've got this. Hey man, you're out. He's just like waiting. Like, all right, come on, seriously, you used one of our 5 mound visits on an April Fool's joke? No, you're fucking coming out. Like,
No, and you should have seen the guy's face. If you haven't seen the video of him getting pulled, his face is surprised. Like he's just like, no, you're kidding, right? Like that's kind of the facial expression that he has.
Well, and the catcher practically just trudged to the mound. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Well, the whole team came to the mound.
Yeah.
Like generally when you know a guy's getting pulled, what do the outfielders do? The outfielders come to the center of the outfield and sit
Yeah.
there and start yucking it up. And all the infielders kind of do the exact same thing, but they normally don't come all the way in.
Yeah.
Because normally when they come all the way into the mound with the skipper and everything like that, there's like, hey guys,
We're discussing strategy.
We're discussing like where if there's a shift on or something like that, this is where I want you, kind of thing.
But with empty bases, there's no strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? But they're all coming in like
hey,
something's wrong.
The bases were loaded with ghost men.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
There were ghost men on first, ghost men on second, ghost men on third. So
so they were
I forgot they started.
ducks
They
in the
switched
pond.
in the middle of the game, started playing kickball.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And God, I hate when they do that.
it fucks
Son
with
of a
me.
bitch.
It fucks with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I'm seriously surprised that happened. And poor kid, because it's not like he's been in the league very long at all. If I remember correctly, this is actually maybe his first or second year as a starting pitcher, and to have the opportunity to do that and to get taken away from you.
Like I said, he'll probably never
fucking
sniff
sucks.
that again in his career.
I'm not going to say never. I hope.
I hope he
for
does.
For the kid, I hope.
Yes.
I hope that he eventually gets to that spot 4 or 5 more times, which is not going to happen. But I hope he at least gets one opportunity when a dumbass coach doesn't come and take your ass out of the game.
But he's the
That's
third
awful.
starter in a lackluster rotation to begin
Yeah,
with.
and-
So chances are this was a fluke.
Yeah, and the chances are, listen, the Orioles are not very good this year. I know that they're 3-1, 3-1. Yeah, it ain't gonna last. Sorry, but anyways, sorry, David Hess. The Unfiltered Sportscasters love you, and we wish
You're
you
welcome
the best.
on this show anytime.
anytime.
You
buddy.
threw
Open
a,
invitation.
You,
We know you
threw
listen.
you threw a no-no in our book.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
In our hearts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right there.
Okay, moving on. The AAF, the AF is going down after 8 games, suspending all operations. Anybody surprised?
Nope.
I think it's even better that like Johnny Manziel was just signed last week.
That's why.
That's why.
Probably.
That's why.
That took their viewership from 20 a game to none.
Yeah, the Memphis Nobodies, everybody that was going to the games, like all 25 people were just like, God damn it, I'm out of here.
Now there was one guy that's like, "Get out of football! Get out of football!"
Yeah, there was one diehard A&M guy
Yeah.
that was there just fucking he still thinks he plays for the Aggies.
Yeah.
And, living those glory days, that fucking farce of a Heisman Trophy campaign that he had, that still pisses me off.
Yeah.
I think the big
Should
thing
never
that
give it to a freshman.
the big thing that killed it, I think, was they wanted to be the minor league
Of the NFL.
of the NFL.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They wanted to take guys off the practice squads,
Right.
and be able to play them in their games. And the NFL was like, "No, not happening." And I think that's what they were banking on from the start, kind of.
I agree.
And when that didn't happen, it was game over.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this is a good opportunity for the XFL. Vince McMahon, just don't fuck it up. Just don't fuck it up.
Yeah, he's got a guy in front of him that fucked it up. If you don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he has already done this before. The XFL has already been out and was there for a season. They made it through a whole fucking season though.
A couple of those guys ended up in the NFL too.
That's right. They did.
And they adopted some of those NFL
the
into
XFL,
yes.
the XFL video or like the camera
Sideline
that comes in on a freaking wire and shit like that.
That was all XFL.
That's at
That was gonna
K-State
happen
now.
Anyway.
Like they have that same thing in Kansas State
They're
now.
very revolutionary there.
Right. But all I'm saying is that the XFL had a whole bunch of good ideas. The fact is that it was thrown together like so fucking quick.
Yeah.
They threw it together in less than a year. They didn't have any coaches, realistically, any players for the teams that they created.
It was the Fire Festival of football.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to make it a show rather than a sporting event.
Make it a show, but if you can actually throw a sporting event, get yourself time to get coaches, players, team names, and good cities that actually fill the football stadium up. And it sounds like, especially with them not tearing down, Arlington Stadium and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now they actually are like, okay, this is actually our home field specifically for the XFL. God, kudos to them. I hope the XFL is a success. Sorry, the AAF was not, but I also think that Vince McMahon is going to pay players actual money to play as opposed to nothing, not getting paid.
I just hope he names them better team names. That's all I want.
Some of them were good, though.
I still think it's going to fold. They're wanting to start it in February.
Right after the Super Bowl?
Right after the Super Bowl. People have just spent an entire season of watching the best football that you can get, and you think they want to spend the next 3-4 months watching substandard football? No, they don't. No, they don't.
I think
it's going to be the same players as in the AAF. What, they got a whole separate talent pool no, there are football players who are NFL players, and then there's football players who didn't quite make the NFL.
Stone Cold
and
Steve Austin's a running back for Texas.
Shit.
Jesus, with both knee braces?
Exactly.
How did that guy fucking wrestle?
I don't know, but
you could tell he was in so much pain. He limped up to the fucking ring, and it was awful.
That was a strut.
With double middle fingers the whole way there, and I loved it.
Sure, that was the strut.
Yeah, but
no, people are gonna watch it the first couple of weeks, and they're going to realize it's shittier football, and they're just not going to care.
I don't know. I think if Vince McMahon makes it more fun, as opposed to, I think the AAF was targeting the NFL, like you said, to be the minor leagues. So they were kind of changing a couple of things. I think that Vince McMahon is going to try to make it more of a show, more entertaining, more of a game, but I don't know. I think it's going to be more fun to watch. And they're going to be more fun rules. I think it's going to be a little bit different because there's tons of stupid rules in the AAF, right?
What I think I agree with Jeremy on though is starting it in February. I think is a horrible idea.
When would you start it?
April.
Okay.
I would start it in April or May and end it into preseason, like the first or second week of preseason, because fucking preseason sucks. And those first 2 weeks, the starters play. A series of downs, maybe 3 series total between the 2 weeks, or so nobody fucking likes it. The people that do are just diehard morons.
Okay,
so sorry if you're listening, but
oh fuck, who doesn't love preseason football? Yeah. Fuck yeah, it's way better than the regular season.
For fuck's sakes, the NFL makes you buy preseason tickets if you're getting season tickets. They force you to buy preseason tickets.
Yeah, that sucks.
Except I think a lot of these guys from the AAF, from the XFL. A lot of these guys get invited to training camp. They just don't make
That's
the
exactly
teams.
what I was getting ready to say. That's why you don't want to start it off that late.
But here's the thing about being a minor league contributor to the NFL. The reason minor league baseball works is because they don't pay their players shit, and they don't rely on television ratings. They don't televise minor league games hardly ever. I mean, every now and then you'll see one. Right. And so when you're really betting heavily on sponsorship dollars to come in for something that nobody's going to watch. I mean, especially when you don't even put it on a regular broadcast network.
Right.
It's gonna.
Right.
Vince McMahon is a money making motherfucker, and I think this is really eating at his ass that he failed so miserably with it the first time. But I think it might be a little bit better than last time, but it's going to fold after a season.
Well,
I just think it really.
I'm not saying it's not going to fold. I'm not saying it's that it's not going to fold. All I'm saying is that if he does it correctly, and I think you're exactly right with the AAF, they went for CBS. They went for the big channels, and in order to do that, you've got to pay shitloads of money. You're not paying players, and I agree with you also that your whole target market is the city that is being represented by all of these teams. You want asses in the stadium. That's what you want. You want asses in the seats. Who gives a shit about TV numbers and stuff like that? If you really want to watch the XFL,
that's the opposite of what I was saying.
Hold on, this is what I'm saying. If you really want to watch the XFL, go on an XFL.com and broadcast that way. Get clicks as opposed to advertising and stuff like that on regular and paying for CBS. You can watch it for free.
XFL's on the verge of a TV deal.
Okay.
Well, and they're
He's-
probably
and
going to be on the
McMahon-
WWE network, aren't they?
Maybe
McMahon
I would
already
if it were me. Because it's McMahon. So I
McMahon
bet.
already has a deal with Fox, and possibly Fox and FS1. He already has a deal with them. Period. With WWE.
Yeah.
That's what one of their shows is moving to that.
Sure.
He's got a deal with USA. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up on Fox. And I know that there were also talks for ESPN.
Wow.
He's got the money to do it.
I know he's got the money to do it. It's just it's like a boat. It's a hole in the water you throw money into, and eventually it sinks. And so what I would do if I were Vince McMahon, I would test the waters first before I go spending a shitload of money on trying to get Fox. I would do an XFL.com deal, try to see how many people that will actually watch it that's not going to be on Fox or any of these huge channels that I have to pay shitloads of money to, because if it flops, it flops, and you just wasted all that money. But if it's on XFL.com, whatever, and you can watch it for free, have your own advertising be the commercials in between timeouts, and you can pick and choose which, people that you want to let be the commercial, I think that's a better idea, and it's significantly cheaper. And the people that really want to watch the game, make it as easy as possible and make it free.
He made $930 million last year.
I understand that.
I don't think he's concerned about cheaper.
Okay. I'm just trying to be
whatever,
smarter.
only 2 commas in
I know.
that.
See what the ratings are after the first couple of weeks using XFL.com, and then you can do whatever you want to do.
See what the ratings are after the 4th or 5th week, because that's how you
Fourth or
know it's got
okay.
staying power.
Yeah,
Because
8
even
weeks.
the AAF had good ratings after the first week.
Right.
Yeah.
But, with... here's what I really hate about is what he's doing, what this is doing to these players. Because a lot of these guys, they played Division I football in college. They're almost good enough to make the NFL, but not quite. And for an athlete of that caliber, and make no mistake, they're not good enough to get in the NFL, but these are still, if you knew these people personally, they'd be the best fucking athletes that you knew.
Yeah, definitely.
The Division I college athletes are so much better than the best guy you played with in high school.
Yeah.
And so,
They're better than Jason?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably. Nah, Jason sucked ass. Anyway, but the hardest thing for these guys is getting to the point of accepting this ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I need to move on with my life. And now you're giving them this second fucking hope, and it's just so goddamn cruel.
Well,
to
It's
them.
great to watch.
I know it's excellent to watch, in my opinion.
Oh, wow, you guys are fucking mean.
I think it was a quote from Batman. There are certain kinds of people that just want to watch the world burn.
Sure.
Me and Derek.
Sure. Oh. 2 of you, and I'm on a fucking podcast with you. Great.
Yeah. Light it up.
But
Hey,
no,
you're
these
Mother
guys.
Teresa, bud.
Yeah.
It's
It's all right, man.
most of these guys have no fucking shot, and they're still going out there risking, lifelong injuries and concussion syndrome and all that shit
For the highly
peanut.
unlikely
Yes.
chance that they get another shot in the NFL.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
for the
I agree. I
highly
love it.
unlikely chance that Cleveland needs a 4th string running back.
They're doing
No, not Cleveland anymore. That Giants. The New York
yes.
Giants need something.
They're doing it for the pussy. That's what.
they got the running back
Exactly.
spot.
Yeah.
Just like us, right?
That's right. That's why we're on this show.
That's why we're on this show.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on to college basketball, we do want to give a huge shout out to a good friend of the shows, Mr. Dave the Caveman Rickles. That's so gay.
Kazoo.
A lot of people don't realize kazoos date back to caveman times.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Some of the oldest cave paintings are of them blowing on kazoos.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyways, Friday night, Dave Rickles, who's a good friend of the show, he actually went out to California and got himself a win over AJ Matthews, 2nd round TKO, and had an excellent entrance, dressed as
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say earlier. Speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, he came dressed as Stone Cold Steve Austin to Stone Cold Steve Austin's music,
Yes.
and then at the very end, delivered one hell of a Stone Cold Stunner on Bobby
Joe Wilk.
Joe Wilk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Joe the Nose.
Okay, well, and it was excellent.
It was great.
It was a really good fight, and I do want to eventually have
You
him
do,
on.
guys?
Huh?
Nothing.
You're such a jerk. Anyways, I do eventually want to have him on, especially talking about that fight. I watched the post-fight interview that he had, and I've got a couple more questions that I would like to ask him. But
I'm going to be honest with you. Didn't care for the language. A lot of F-bombs out of that guy. I don't care for it.
yeah, whatever.
I want my fighters wholesome.
I think you have more F-bombs in this show than I do.
Oh, fuck you.
Exactly.
That was
And by the
epic.
way, that's not saying anything.
Yeah.
I have more than you. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy that has to keep us on track. So anyways, good job, Dave. We loved watching it and hope to have you on. Anyway. All right. March Madness, baby. Which is no longer March Madness.
It's April Insanity.
April Insanity. April Insanity. Really?
Yeah. April Insanity.
Okay, I can't do that.
Because we're not allowed to say Final Four, are we? Isn't that protected?
Nah.
I guess
Final
we're not
I don't know.
advertising
If you
for
cut
it.
off 6 of your fingers, those are your final 4 left. And I think that you should be allowed to say that.
All right. Fair enough.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that. The Final Four. So the road to the Final Four is completed. We know who our Final Four teams are. It's going to be Michigan
It was
State.
a twisted and windy one.
Yeah, it was. We got Michigan State at versus
You're
Texas
welcome.
Tech. Yeah, thanks. Auburn and Virginia. So these games to go to the Final Four though were excellent. Every single one of them was a great game, and I actually did some analysis of these games. Don't worry, it's not that boring.
He said
know.
anal.
Anal ISIS. The worst kind of ISIS.
Yes.
They shove a rocket
When you-
launcher up your ass or something.
These terrorists smell like shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to know what anal ISIS will do to you. They'll take off your Duluth butt-naked underwear and shove a rocket launcher up your butt.
Lube it up with plastic explosives and just ram it right up that asshole.
Your asshole will be in pieces, but the Duluth butt-naked and underwear will still be in one sheet.
That was askew. Holy shit.
Hey, that's keeping us on track, right?
Yeah.
God, I'm glad we don't get off on other topics.
Nope.
Anal ISIS.
It's always about anal something.
Yeah.
Hashtag butt chug.
Right. Okay. First
We'll
off,
get to
the games to lead up to the Elite Eight, to lead up to the Final Four. Yeah, they were good, but I'm sorry. Again, the games that were before that, the games to go to the Final Four were the best games to watch, and I watched every single one of them.
The Elite Eight, they call that.
Yeah, the Elite Eight games, but
Yeah.
to go to the Final Four.
Some call that.
Yeah.
Glad I don't.
Yeah. I don't conform.
And surprisingly enough, the game that I want to start off first was actually Michigan State versus Duke.
I didn't get to watch it. I was
I
in
did.
Texas.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you didn't get to watch it. I created a kick-ass meme, though, that if you haven't checked out our Facebook page, the Unfiltered Sportscast on Facebook, there is a picture of King Leonidas kicking that guy down that black hole. And since, he's a Spartan, I put Spartans on him.
Was that really Leonidas? The real one?
Yeah.
Is that actual picture?
Yeah.
I'll be goddamn.
Yeah, it was in color, magic.
Well, yeah, they were very advanced and great.
Definitely.
Well, fuck, we've had time travel since 1985.
That's true. That was actually a
Yes.
guay standing on the hill with like a cell phone or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Gerard Butler went back
Yeah.
in time. That's how he studied for the role.
Way before Gerard. I mean, fuck. Doc Brown and Marty McFly
I
went back.
can't keep them on track. Anyway.
Listen,
All right.
where the fuck are our hoverboards? That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson fell on
travel.
one.
Traveling forward in time. Okay, so seriously though, Michigan State versus Duke, it was really an excellent game. It was really an excellent game. I had two things that I wanted to point out. In order for Michigan State to win the game, this is what helped them win the game. First off was turnovers. Duke had 17 turnovers throughout the game. You want to know how many Michigan State had?
5.
Close. 6.
Ooh,
Off
not
by
watching
one.
the game. That's
Very
pretty
good.
good.
By
Very
my
good.
account, you were off by one, which happened to be the difference in points.
No.
1 point.
Yeah, that is 1 point.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true.
So Derek and Michigan State have something in common.
Right.
Actually, Derek and Duke, because they came up one short.
Right, but if you watch the whole game, there was a
do
certain
math.
point that let's see, RJ Barrett was at the free throw line at the very end of the game. He needed to make both free throws to tie it. I think it was like 68 to 66. He needed to make both of them to tie the game, and then there was, I think, 5.2 seconds left to go in the game, and he missed the first free throw. So then he attempted to miss the second free throw to try to get the offensive rebound, and it accidentally went in. It bounced 4 times and then went in. So it was 67-68. The next point I wanted to make, if you were watching the game, you also noticed the fouls on both teams. The fouls in the second half, Michigan State had 6. Duke only had 3 total team fouls in the second half. So what were you going to do?
You couldn't foul them.
If you
foul
foul
just for fun.
Seriously. If you're fouling them, you foul them before the ball gets inbounded, really.
Yeah.
Because you now have to get 4 more fouls in order to put them on the free throw line.
Yeah.
But 3
At that
fouls and
point-
a half, you can't even say that the refs were on Michigan State's side.
Right.
I mean, that's I've never seen a half where
Never.
a team only gets 3
Never.
fouls called on them.
Never. But a lot of people have said Coach K has a lot to do with this particular loss, and not necessarily the players. But whenever you have an all-star team that you have, you have at least 2 or 3 guys on Duke.
They have 3 guys projected to go in the top 8.
I was going to say top 5 even, really. But if top 8, whatever.
Yeah.
You've got 3 guys in the top 8 going to the NBA. Something happened. Something's wrong. I don't get it. And a lot of people are hanging this on Coach K. But this is a turning point to me. At 5.2 seconds, you have 3 total team fouls. I'm thinking about 2 minutes before that and going, shit, we only have 3 total team fouls. Okay, guys, I know this sounds weird, but before they get the ball past half court, I'm talking just as they inbound the ball, foul them.
Press it.
Just press it. Just to get some whistles, because if you get to the end of the game and you need to stop the clock and put them to the line to shoot 1-and-1, you need that, especially as close of a game that it was.
Well, they've been in close games against UCF, and they were in a close game
Yeah.
against Tech.
Yeah, the last 3 games have been nail
Right.
biters.
Yeah.
Right. And at that point, that's just something I would have looked up and saw and been like, you know what, if we're down by 4 with a minute left to go in the game, we're kind of screwed at that point, or a little bit less. It's just one of the things I noticed. So my hat's off to Michigan State, though.
The last thing I would ever do is blame a team's poor performance on the coach.
Yeah. No,
We know that about me.
I'm just saying there's a lot of analysts that are saying, Williams. But Bruce Weber, you did that a lot last episode. But anyway.
I don't remember last episode.
Sure.
That's called sarcasm, Scotty.
I know.
Yeah,
I know,
it's
I know.
a common practice that we use in comedy.
Right. For those of you guys for those of you guys keeping track, Zion Williamson.
Now that's
Jesus
even
Christ.
better.
Williamson had 24 points. He was 10 for 19. He was 2 for 6 from 3-point range, 2 assists and 14 rebounds. So
Welcome to the NBA.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun, buddy. You're gonna do well.
In
You're
the
gonna be a
previous
Nick.
game against
right.
Tennessee, weren't they down by 2 and he had to hit 2 clutch free throws just to tie it up and send it into overtime
Who?
for Purdue? Isn't that who you're talking about? Who
No.
were you talking about?
Zion Williamson.
Oh, shit. I thought we had moved on.
No. We're getting ready to go to Texas Tech and Gonzaga.
Fuck, what are we talking about? What are we doing here?
You just left the building there,
I
buddy.
did.
Yeah.
Jeremy, shut up!
Anyway. Okay, so Texas Tech versus Gonzaga. There were 2 points to the game
Williamson
as
sounds a lot like Purdue.
well. God damn it. Sure is. Texas
Rhymes and
Tech,
everything.
3-point percentage. They were 9 for 23, which is 39.1% from 3-point range. Gonzaga was 7 for 26 at 26.9. So Texas Tech won this game by 6 points. There's the difference. 2 threes. They had 3 less opportunities, but they made 2 more. The other thing that I noticed with Texas Tech is they share the ball. 7 of 8 guys scored on their team. 8 guys played, 7 guys scored.
I did get to see part of that, and they seemed like they always kept making that extra pass.
Yeah, I mean they had more assists on all scores. So
And they have absolutely stifling defense.
they do.
That is-
Defensively, they look great.
They can keep the game close against anybody.
Right. And even though I lost my bet to Nolan Williams on Florida State beating Gonzaga, I knew I was almost going to go 2-0, but I didn't get to see him, and so I was going to take Texas Tech over Gonzaga because Gonzaga was not a number 1 team. They weren't.
God, see, here's the thing.
Argue.
I think that they proved that they deserved the seeding, or that it wasn't
How? By beating Dickinson, Baylor, and Florida State?
Well, Florida State's pretty damn good.
They're good, but they were, if I remember correctly, they're a 4 seed.
And listen, Dickinson, they're a tough bunch. They're
pretty stellar.
They're rowdy.
Yeah.
That's like saying Duke didn't deserve it, though.
What?
That's like saying Duke didn't deserve it.
No, it's not.
Well,
I'm not
Duke
saying
had
that
more
it was
top quarter wins than any other team.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it wasn't as outlandish of a seeding as what I thought. Yes, they lost to a very good Texas Tech team that on any other year going into the Final Four, I would say Texas Tech would be the team that nobody wants to play, but in this year, actually not. You know, and they came within a breath of beating them. I mean, that game came down to the wire.
Sure.
So, you know, I don't know that they necessarily changed my mind that they were a number one, but it wasn't that they weren't such an outlandish number one seed.
Nope.
Yeah, if they get blown out by 15 or something like
Yeah.
that, then it's like, you shouldn't have been here in the first place.
No. I'm just saying what should have happened from the get go is that Michigan State should have been the 4th number one. Gonzaga should have been the number 2.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, they were a legit number 2.
And the main reason Michigan State
what
straight
did
to
Katz
conference.
put him at?
Huh?
What did Katz put him at?
Could put who? Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
Number 1. He had him winning the whole damn thing because he's an idiot.
Oh yeah. Fuck you, Katz.
Yeah.
What was it, Adam Katz?
Andy Katz.
Andy Katz. Yeah.
But no,
My favorite
I
kind
knew
of
this
cat
from the
is
get
an
go.
Andy cat.
They were gonna get worn down. They play 7 guys. They legitimately have 7 guys that they play with, and I'm sorry. You have been playing in a conference.
I accept that apology.
Yeah, I'm sorry to them, but I know that your record looks good. Yes, you have a win over Duke, but following that win over Duke, you lost to Tennessee and Kentucky in the same damn tournament on a neutral floor, okay? The rest of your season, you played a whole bunch of nobodies, and then you lost your conference tournament against St. Mary's, who gets their ass kicked the first chance they get in the NCAA tournament. I'm sorry, but no.
Again, apology accepted.
You don't deserve a number 1 seed. I completely understand. Number 2 seed, number 3 seed even. It wouldn't have shocked me. But to say that they're one of the best 4 teams in the country, even though they looked as good as they did against some of the teams they played, I'm sorry. That just, no, it's not right.
And I'm not saying that it was that they should have gotten that number 1 seed. What I'm saying is at the beginning of the tournament, I would have put them at a 3 or a 4. Mm-hmm. And now in watching them play, I don't know that a number 1 was as out of this fucking world as it should have been.
I would have put him
as what I thought.
Number 2 or number 3.
I would have put him as a number 2.
I'd have been fine with a number 2. Anyways.
You're fine anyway.
So Texas Tech sharing the basketball. 7 of 8 players scored. 3 of 8 were in double digits. And like I said earlier, they made 2 more 3-point baskets, more than Gonzaga, and ended up winning by 6. So hats off to Texas Tech. Congratulations. This is the first time I believe they've been to the Final Four, if I remember correctly.
And I was very, very – the thing that really impressed me was the poise that they showed coming down.
Yep.
When they were getting fouled and had to make those free throws. They were just not even any thought to it. They just fucking put them right in like it was any other free throw.
Right. No, they did a very good job. So hats off to them. We'll see you in the Final Four. Okay.
I was the only one that took my hat off.
Okay, well, there you go.
Still on.
Auburn, Kentucky. This was another excellent game. Final score was 77-71, another 6-point victory. The big 3 things that I wanted to point out was turnovers. Auburn only had 9 turnovers all game. Kentucky had 14. And again, this comes into play, sharing the basketball. Auburn players, 8 of 9 players scored. For Kentucky, 6 of 9 players scored. So they still shared the ball fairly well, but it wasn't near as many points that were spread out. They still had, I believe, 2 players that scored in double digits, if I remember correctly, for Kentucky, but maybe 3.
They're the reason why I don't think Texas Tech is the scariest team in this Final Four. Auburn is looking real good.
I know.
Good.
They're on fire. On fire. I mean,
they caught fire at exactly the right time.
Seriously, Virginia, I know you're good defensively, but look out for Auburn. Mm-hmm. They're on fire. Texas Tech's on fire against Michigan State too. So we'll get to our picks for that here shortly. But I wanted to run through this as quick as possible. The biggest thing though was free throws. Free throws win basketball games. It all comes down to the very end of the game, and turns out that Auburn was 18 of 24 at 75%. Kentucky was 12 of 21 for 57%. 18 made free throws for Auburn.
It's like
Kentucky
Bruce Weber
12.
came to coach him.
So 18 minus 12 is 6. How many points did Auburn win by? 6 points. Free throws were
You're
actually
doing like that number 23 shit.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying 6 points was the difference, and Auburn made 6 more free throws, and that came down to it at the end of the game. So good job, Auburn. I think, good for you. Anyway, Purdue and Virginia. I fast forwarded to this game because this was the best.
You didn't fast forward
Basketball
anything.
game.
You took the longest route to this game.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I went to this one because I had the most to say about this game. This was an excellent showing by both teams. Both teams.
That Purdue-Tennessee game was probably the best game I've watched all year.
Oh, no. This one, in my opinion, was better. It was way better. Went into overtime, but the only way that it goes into overtime is, let's see.
The game he's talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Purdue, Tennessee?
Purdue-Tennessee, or did you say Purdue-Virginia?
Purdue, Virginia.
Yeah.
Purdue, Virginia.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I said Purdue-Tennessee, which
said
that
Purdue.
also went into overtime.
right. That's the one where he had to hit the 2 free throws at the end to send it to overtime.
To send it to overtime. Yeah, he missed the first one. This game was excellent because
Oh, he got fouled on a 3-pointer. Made
Yes.
2 of the 3. That's
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that was, oh, god damn, that was a fucking
that kid had
shit foul.
Klein had like 9 threes that game.
yeah, but in this particular situation, especially going down to the wire between Purdue and Virginia, Virginia is down by 3 points with a couple seconds left to go on the clock. And I always go back to Memphis and KU at this particular junction because Virginia had the basketball bringing it up the court. And I have always said, Calipari, you stupid motherfucker, why don't you foul right as they come across half court, so that way they shoot 2 free throws and don't have a chance to tie the ball game, get the defensive rebound, run out the clock, and all of a sudden you're a champ, right? Well, guess what?
They did.
Purdue did that. They got past half court. They fouled them with, I think it was like 4.5 or 5 seconds left to go in the game. So your shot to win this basketball game is to make the first free throw, purposefully miss the second one, somehow get an offensive rebound, and somehow get a 2-point bucket at the last second in that 5 seconds allotted amount of time.
It's like the onside kick of basketball.
It's the type of
Exactly.
shit that only happens in Air Bud movies.
Yes, exactly.
Best basketball movie ever made.
Sure as shit, it happens.
You know, there's no rule that says a
believe-
dog can't play.
I believe his name is pronounced Diakite, who is one of the big guys for Virginia, is part of tipping the ball, which actually could have been called backcourt because he was the one who tipped it. It went from the paint all the way backcourt. Virginia gets it. The entire defense for Purdue gets sucked to the basketball to try to get the defensive rebound. Therefore, Diakite is underneath the basket with one guy on him, but open enough to get the ball up to him. He makes the somewhat of a layup at the last second, makes it that it goes into overtime.
It was a jumper, but yeah.
It was a little bit
Short
of a, it was a
jumper.
short kind of floater kind of a shot. And that was excellent to watch. That's college basketball. That's why I love it. I've got
That's not why it's college basketball.
I know that's college basketball to me.
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's like whenever you hear March Madness, it's shit like this that
Yes.
people always bring up, which is this is the stuff that's not supposed to happen, but during this tournament, it seems to happen quite frequently because of the caliber of players and teams and all this other stuff. So it was excellent to watch. Carson Edwards for Purdue. Put it this way, he scored 42 points in that game. He was 14 of 25. He was 10 of 19 from 3-point range. He was 10 of 19. Dude was like unconscious. He was so on fire. It was crazy. He kept them in that game, and you couldn't guard him. It's not like he didn't have a hand in his face. He was shooting from just in front of the fucking half-court logo. The guy was just lighting it up. It was an excellent game to watch, and he just made his stock go up. I believe he's not very old. He's an underclassman, if I remember correctly, and he's going to be
14 years
damn good. Not that young. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's a Chinese gymnast.
He's Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in my opinion, that was the best game to watch. I was so shocked. Free throws as well comes down to Virginia was 17 of 20 for the game, 85%. Purdue was only 7 of 10, so they only had 10 opportunities to shoot free throws. Purdue did, but that was because Carson Edwards was fucking throwing up J's, dude. He was just he was so much on a roll, and that's why he did so well.
He was very good, but that might have been the reason why they lost, because nobody else was doing anything.
Pretty much, he was the star of the team, and he showed it. You need
somebody else.
And the other thing I gave was second chance points to Virginia. They had 17 total offensive rebounds the entire game. Purdue only had 7. So they were on the offensive boards. They were out rebounded by 10.
17 is a pretty big number
for offensive rebounds. Yeah, but you also have to remember Purdue was actually somewhat playing small because they were trying to get those 3-point baskets from Edwards, and it was an excellent game. If you didn't watch it, just go back, watch the highlights. You won't be upset. So, which brings me to our picks. Derek, you want to know how you did?
Sure.
It's right in front of you. How many points you got there, bub?
57, and no Final Four teams.
So Jeremy and myself are still in the hunt. I believe I have. No.
The hunt for what? To not wear the shot collar? We're both getting it.
Oh no. Me and you are not. Now I'm just talking about winning. No, we knew Derek has already lost. That's no surprise. But as of right now, as it sits, I am leading with 78 points with Virginia in the finals. However, Jeremy, you can beat me. You can beat me. Yeah,
fucking right, I can.
I know. You have
easily.
You did it in fantasy football.
That's no shit, and I would not be surprised because you have 68 points with Michigan State winning it all. So unless Texas Tech comes out and just beats the piss out of them, you win. And Derek, you have 61 points and done. Yeah. So, and just for good measure,
I am one short of 69. I want to say.
yeah.
Boom.
No kidding,
comedy.
Right? But my wife actually also played this game, and you guys didn't know about it. But she has 74 points.
My wife
with Virginia also in the finals. So me and my wife beat both of you. Well, except for Jeremy.
It ain't over.
It ain't over yet, I guess. So, anyways, I don't know. It's up to you, Derek, because next week is actually your birthday. Next episode's your birthday. Shot collar on your birthday, maybe?
Nah, I can't do that on my birthday.
Come on.
I'll do it the week after.
How about this? I'll do it for you. I'll wrap it around your nutsack.
Oh, God. If you use your teeth.
Okay.
I like a little teeth.
No.
I love everything that's happening right now. And I mean everything.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's gross.
He says that on camera, guys. But,
he was begging for it before the show.
No. But anyways, let's get to our picks here real quick. So now we got the Final Four. The brackets are done. We're going to go with the brackets are done. Let's just deal with what we've got as the Final Four. Who do we have going to the national championship? And who do we have winning? Because by next week, that will be apparent. So Michigan State, Texas Tech, who wins that game right now?
Michigan State.
I don't bet against Izzo.
All right, I'm going to go Michigan State too.
But I wouldn't be at all surprised if Tech won.
I wouldn't either. I'm with Izzo on this. Since he ripped that kid's ass for lollygagging back to the bench, that kid looks pretty good. So Henry, that was his name. Virginia, Auburn.
I'm gonna go Auburn.
I think Auburn.
Son of a bitch. We all agree. Because I also have Auburn.
You've already picked
Virginia.
I know, and Virginia was my dark horse. I think how well Auburn has played.
I like how a 1 seed was your dark horse.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was also between Michigan State, Duke.
It's like the Patriots were my dark horse to win the Super Bowl.
We all have seen the field. We know who was in it.
Yeah, but now I'm like, oh my God. You know what? Fuck it. I will take Virginia.
All right.
Fuck it.
Fair enough.
Can't duck it. Fuck it. I will take Virginia to beat Auburn, and then who you got? Championship game. Who wins the national title? Now
Michigan
Duke's
State.
out. Now Duke's out. So Derek, we're done. So we got to pick new teams. So go ahead.
Michigan State.
Michigan State for Derek.
Michigan State. But if Texas Tech beats Michigan State, I think Texas Tech.
You got Texas Tech. Okay. I am going to pick Virginia.
You have to. You already have. You still have them.
I know. But I because
no
you gave me
backsies.
shit. Nope, because you gave me shit for picking Auburn. But honestly, I do think if Virginia beats Auburn and goes on to the national championship, I'll take Virginia. So,
All right.
that's it. But anyway,
Great.
All right. So yeah, woo! March Madness is
All
over.
right. Not yet. Still got 1 week left.
3 games.
No, April.
Well,
I just
yeah.
April
I'm sorry.
insanity.
April insanity with the anal ISIS. Yeah. And
Analyzes a Duluth Buck Naked Trading Company.
fucking shit is this?
all right, hey, Scotty.
Yo,
Let me ask you a question.
what you got, man?
You know, there's a lot of energy drinks.
Yeah,
out
there is.
right? Mm-hmm. I want you to name me one that does not cause global warming.
Strikeforce?
Yes.
I'll be goddamn.
Dude, that's
Pulled that one
was
right out of my
exactly what
hats.
was on my mind.
Awesome.
Strikeforce does not cause global warming.
And they no longer have the coffee flavor either.
That's why.
Probably a good thing.
that was causing global warming, and now it's not.
Yeah, because you can't butt chug coffee, right?
You can. It hurts like a motherfucker,
Yeah,
but
especially
you
when
can.
it's hot.
Yeah.
Hot coffee. Oh, right up the bunghole.
Anyways,
That's anal ISIS right there. That's what they do.
Folgers actually tastes better going in the butt than it does going in the mouth. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. And you know where it really hurts the most with the cold weather?
Yeah.
Duluth, Minnesota.
The Duluth Trading Company with the
where the fuck did this come from?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor. It's StrikeForceEnergy.com. They now have 4 flavors, which is orange, lemon, grape, and original, which tastes like Nick Foles or fruit punch, one of the two. But they all taste the same if you butt chug them, which we've said multiple times.
Chug.
What?
Nothing. Thought we were playing word association
Oh,
game.
gotcha. All right. Anyways, do us a favor. Go on to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Check them out. Also use the promo code for right now, no more cans. We are still working on butt chug. If we get
Can't
butt
be
chug,
that hard.
well, because of the company and the phrasing, the phraseology that we want to use,
I get phrasing, yeah.
okay, it may not be the best for this particular company. You know, maybe
This
not.
is the best for America.
I'm with you. I'm with you, especially if you want to get that energy faster. Definitely.
Yeah, oh, right up the beehole.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
That's how you mainline that shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bypass the kidneys, the liver, everything. Just get it right
Into your system,
Yeah.
and it's just like
And it eliminates
awesome.
tracks if you want to use it. You don't have to use a needle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can get a job. You're like, well, what's all the tracks? They're not going to believe that you're mainline an energy
Right.
drink.
Right.
Absolutely. And makes your shit taste like Nick Foles.
But in all and being as honest as I possibly can, I can't even talk. This is actually a very good product. They do actually taste good if you want to drink them orally. You can mix them with a bottle of water, and it does not have any sugar, no calories. It just has the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. So it's a very good product. I have friends in the military that have used this for years now, and they swear
What if
by it.
I'm going hunting?
And if you're going hunting, it takes out the can aspect, which if you're hunting, you want to try to be quiet. You can't really catch a game animal whenever your cans are banging around. And so it's very convenient to have it in a box full of 10 packets that you can order from StrikeForceEnergy.com for right now. Use the promo code No More Cans. Do check them out. They're a very good friend of the show. So do that for us. We would sincerely appreciate it. Also, do check us out on the Facebook page, which is the Unfiltered Sportscast. Also, we are up on YouTube. Every episode, you can watch us when we record these, which I think is actually kind of better because you can see Derek's and Jeremy's and even my reactions to the jokes that we have on this show. You can also subscribe to us. That does help out. Also, click the notification button so you get it lets you know whenever we have a new video out or a new episode. Do that on iTunes, Podcast Addict, Stitcher. We are even on Spotify. You can find us everywhere. And we always like to say, if you like us, do us a favor, tell your friends and your family. If you don't like us,
Tell your enemies.
Until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
Take that filter off and make it dirty.
We'll see you. Take care.